This is the new wave, where things have evolved. The game ain't the same as it once was. This is NBA Live. Here, you can be the one and shine like the league's best. Anybody can get shook or dunked on or crossed up. And your newfound control over your strength, skills, and style is a beautiful thing. So do you want to be the one or the one who gets left behind? You have the ability to dominate on both ends of the court. It's all in your hands now. But remember this, the path to being the greatest, being the one, does not stop at the NBA. The game continues in the playgrounds, the schools, and the local gyms. This is where every real player developed their love for the game, where they paid their dues, earned their reps, and rode their own wave. From pickup games at the Rucker, to Pro-Am games at the Drew, to the bright lights of the NBA. The paths to greatness are limitless. And trust me, this game ain't the same. Are you ready to be the one?
The Chicago Bulls.
I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call it, now she's sad. Cause I'm getting money.
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already, let's complete your player info. Your background sets the stage for who you are, both on and off the court.
Remember she ain't want me, now she make it. I just put 200 on the dash. I just walked in Neiman with them bands. I got 15,000 in my hand. I might spend 800 on a shirt, Gucci down. I just spent 300 on some. Super time I fly away, super loud. Cash got mad because of day. I remember going crazy on a paper chase. Now we got cash inside the safe. Get out of line and I'ma put you in your place. She said she love my music and she wanna see my face. He said you want a feature, get this bro boy out my way. If you become a problem, make a call. I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call it, now she's sad. Cause I'm getting money, and living fast. Every time I dress, I'm popping tags. And every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash. She only want me cause I'm Nav. Girl, I didn't buy that bag. I ain't buy it. I don't want no one that's in a mix. You talk to all the rappers saying that and this. Every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash. I just spent 5,000 on that. I just wanna take it. I asked her if she wanna win. She see the XO on my back and now she in. Yeah, I'm ballin' way above the rim. Threw her the keys and told her take it for a spin. I'm worth a couple tickets trying to get these M's. I called my mama, said we'll never be broke again. I remember being broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers cause I'm Nav. He can't get a feature so he mad. I ain't nothing like these rappers, they won't last. I don't wanna call it, now she's sad. Cause I'm getting money, and living fast. Every time I dress, I'm popping tags. And every time I'm buying, I'm paying cash.
Let's start creating your look. If you haven't already, your hairstyle says a lot about your look. Let's choose yours. Now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player type: guard, wing, or big. Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have on the court. Now, it's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in. Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news: torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned, not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson. This serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that.
Please.
If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max. The woe is me. Oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should be one and dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be one and dones. Some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like, Stephen A. Smith, are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max, bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Now, you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. Pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
That's exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Hype brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Hype brothers was something special. What they really, really need to do. I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a Pro-Am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
I was born running with the baton. Now I'm known as the young intellectual dawn. Until I'm gone, where I'm from, the real don't get along with the fake. Look me in the face, eyes of the storm. You don't want none. No beef could never hurt me. I be on my Eastern Bull, they cold turkey. Firstly, it's the double entendre monster, taking haunting, constant. Just to your conscience, so be cautious. If you call for it, we leave the causes of the coffin is the broken clauses. Skeletons in my closet. Tomorrow's never promised. Never mind it, because we immortals regardless. Real G's moving silence like my designer. Intertwined with the timeless divine. Higher powered. I was dipping in the gold since a minor. Sitting on my throne overlooking my empire. Resurrection the real, you fake. Never second guessing my kill, so choose your fate. Cause I'm born running with the baton. A ticket time bomb. Better ring it long. Resurrection the real, you fake. Never second guessing my kill, so choose your fate. Cause I'm born running with the baton. A ticket time bomb. Better ring it long.
So keep it spinning, this jocker. Don't that partner, these imposters. We moving like the monsters. One force move ever, but the lobsters. Keep it spinning, this jocker. Don't that partner, these imposters. We moving like the monsters. One force move ever, but the...
It's the all-American. Who you mad at? They ain't have to ask that. Attack with the backlash. Where's my cash at? Running all through NASDAQ in my backpack. Going off the knack. Dope boy in the Cadillac. Having flashbacks. This shit will clap back. Hit him with the go through a snapback. I snap with the rats that make them bring the whole track back. Get smacked with the rilla. When I drop, it's all killing, no filler. So you better not make a wrong move. I personally deliver each that won't miss ya. And when it hits ya, it's no warning. We bombarding me and my squadron. If you want it, get your army. We dropping calmly. This is no party. Any scraps left, we just feed them to the zombies.
Never for the sun, I die for my brethren. This is the Ocean 7. Ring the alarm for war, you won't get in. Ring the alarm for war, you won't get in. Never for the sun, I die for my brethren. This is the Ocean 7. Ring the alarm for war, you won't get in. Ring the alarm for war, you won't get in.
Ring the alarm, we ain't keeping it calm. Need a reason to see the dawn. Break the leash and I'm off. Was hungry when I started. More ravenous as I evolve. Caution hazardous, inflicting damages I can't recall. Rich in spirit when I broke some laws. I'm breaking even with my pros against all the odds. Made my word.
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late, great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem.
Watch that cut.
the game.